welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily the Mystic, and today we are talking all about dreams and how to work with your dreams. I love this topic. I find it so completely fascinating, and it's something that I get asked a lot by my clients and people in my community about how to work with dreams and how to use your intuitive gifts to tap into the dream world. What do dreams mean? How can you interpret your dreams? And so we're going to dive into it today, and I'm going to give you my spiritual perspective on dreaming so that you can start working with your own dreams in a more conscious way, and that may unlock a lot for you in your life. So I'm excited. Let's dive on in. So as we all know, and I'm not going to get into the science behind the dream state, that's a video from a scientist. I'm sure that exists somewhere here on YouTube. I am going to tap into my spiritual perspective on dreams. So we all know that when we go to sleep at night, that our brain and our body releases chemicals that produce the dream state, and that kind of bring us into almost a state of hallucination within the mind. We go on these journeys within the dream state. We meet with people that perhaps people from our past or our current life. We meet with them, we have experiences with them, and then we wake up and we are like, oh my gosh, all of these crazy things happened in the dream. What does it mean? How do I figure this out? So my perspective on dreaming, and I've talked about this before in an older video about dreams, is that when we are dreaming, when we are in that deep level of sleep, in those deeper brainwave states, the soul is actually leaving the body. And the soul is actually traveling within different realms in the astral plane to facilitate these dreamlike experiences in order to further facilitate your soul's healing. So when your soul is navigating the dream landscape, you are experiencing, and your subconscious mind is experiencing healing when you are going throughout the course of your dream life. And when you wake up, depending on how you feel after a particular dream, that's going to be an indication of, okay, has this issue actually been healed? Is this simply a message for me? Or is there something deeper here that I need to take a look at in my life? So we're going to tap more into like how to work with your dreams momentarily, but I do want to talk about dreams themselves from a very spiritual perspective. So your soul is leaving your body, you're traveling through the astral plane, through different realms and dimensions, and your guides, your higher self, are facilitating these experiences for you in order to see something, heal something, learn something, receive a message that's for your highest good. Now, dreams themselves can feel, again, they can feel different, dream in different ways. They can elicit different reactions and emotions in the dream world and when we wake up. And not all dreams are good dreams, right? We often can have nightmares or really scary dream experiences. I'm going to talk about nightmares in a moment. But when we have kind of a quote unquote like a normal dream where you have maybe met with some people from your waking life in the dream state, and then you wake up and you just kind of go on with the rest of your day, your soul is actually working through some sort of healing or experience that you needed to have in order to navigate something for your soul's highest growth. So that's kind of the what behind what's going on in the dream state. And I personally do believe that our guides, our higher self, are helping to facilitate those experiences. So again, we can learn something, we can heal something, we can receive a message. Now, when it comes to nightmares or dreams that are really intense or negative in nature, a lot of the time that can be because we actually have negative attachments. So I have mentioned entities in a few videos. I mentioned them in a video about intuition and intuitive blocks. And we can actually, if we do have negative entity attachment, they can create a lot of chaos within the dream state. So people who have reoccurring nightmares or challenges within the dream state are often also dealing with some sort of negative entity attachment at the same time. So I do share that with you so that that may be something that you take a look at in your own life. If you are frequently having sleep paralysis and it feels terrifying to you, or you are experiencing these like horrifying nightmare-scape scenarios in your dream state, it's very likely that there's an entity attachment that is exacerbating those symptoms. Now, of course, we can have these really intense, horrifying, scary dreams as a result of trauma and the trauma that we've been through. So our subconscious mind stores everything we've been through in this lifetime and other lifetimes. And when we are in the dream state and our guides are facilitating these dream experiences for us and with us, it is to help bring up some of those repressed subconscious memories and experiences, again, that we may need to heal or learn from or receive a message from in the dream state. And so if we have been through trauma in this lifetime, we may have really scary, intense dreams as a result of the trauma, even post-traumatic stress dreams because of the trauma that we've been through. However, if those dreams are really extreme and really being exacerbated at an extreme level, it is simply entities that are exacerbating the trauma that you've been through and weaponizing the trauma that you've been through in order to make you either relive it or experience a symbol or a theme that is so terrifying for your soul. Entities have a very innate sense, because they know, they're very psychic, of your fear. They know how to weaponize your deepest, darkest, most intensely rooted fears. And they will do that in the dream state. So again, if you are experiencing nightmares, and this is frequent nightmares, by the way, it is very likely that there is an entity that is exacerbating your dream state. I know for me, whenever I have an entity issue, my dreams come through in a very lucid way. It's almost like I am partially awake experiencing it, and they are crystal clear. The frequency is different than a normal dream. They are, again, crystal clear and kind of terrifying in nature. And I kind of feel like almost like my body is part of the experience. And that is how I know that it's an entity dream. It's not a normal dream for me, is if it feels clearer and more real than a normal dream would feel. And because I've been doing this work for a while, I can recognize that. I can do some entity release for myself or work with a practitioner that I trust. And that way I can let go of those dreams and not have to relive them and re-experience them anymore. So if you are having these horrifying nightmares, it's not you, it is something, there is a trauma there that you do need to heal. There is some fear there that you do need to heal, but it's not your fault. And it's not something you have to live with forever. So comment below if that is you, and I will get you the right resources to help you with what you are navigating. So that's nightmares. So we have addressed that. We can set that aside for now. But let's talk about normal dreams and dreams that you may have on, a normal night during any given week. So what I have noticed is that depending on the chemistry of your brain, depending on your soul's purpose, depending on your unique gifts, your dreams may vary and may be very different than the people around you. For me, even being an intuitive, my dreams are actually very normal in nature, which is really interesting, meaning that I dream a lot about people in my waking life. I dream about very normal human-like scenarios and situations. I don't often have really fantastical dreams like something out of a fantasy movie. I'm not astral traveling to incredible places and galaxies. I've had a couple of dreams like that, but not my normal rhythm. The normal cadence for my dreams is not fantastical in nature. But yours may be. You may have been someone who throughout your entire life you've had these incredible, fantastical, magical, mystical dreams. And if you do, that's something you should pay pay attention to, because there may be something deeper there for you to unlock. You may really be able to have this gift of, and we're all in the astral plane when we are dreaming, but if you're able to tap into these more fantastical astral realms, there may be something there for you to explore in terms of your intuitive gifts. So if that is you, what I would recommend that you do, and this is going to be guidance that I tell everyone, so hang in there if you don't have fantastical dreams, but for those that do, while we're on the topic, what you are going to want to do is really be intentional with your dream state. And by that, I mean setting an intention for yourself before you go to bed at night of what you would like to, where you would like to travel to, what you would like to see, do, uncover, or learn about, and perhaps even who you would like to meet with, and write it down. So let's say you want to astral travel to the Pleiades in your dream state. You can do that. Just set that intention before you go to bed at night and go to sleep. And it may take a few times. You may need to do this a few times. You may need to write it down, put it on a Post-it note next to on your bedside table, and then go to sleep and see what happens. And when you wake up, write down as much as you can remember. Now, another idea for you is if you want to work with a specific spirit guide in the dream state, you can set the intention to meet with them before you fall asleep at night. Or if you want to travel somewhere in the world, like let's say you want to have a dream about Hawaii and you have these fantastical travel dreams, then set that intention that you want to go visit Hawaii in the dream state and see what happens. Now, for those of us who have more normal dreams, and most of us are going to have dreams around people in our life, I do want to address that and kind of decoding dream symbolism. So first of all, for everybody, I would highly recommend that when you first wake up in the morning, that you take a few seconds before you're fully awake to write down your dreams. Now, keeping a dream journal, like a written one, is great, but for a lot of us, that's not super practical. So I actually keep in the notes app of my phone lists of some of the different dreams that I've had and the different themes that I remember. And if you can do this as soon as you wake up, when you're still lying in bed and your body has that muscle memory of the position you were in when you were going through the dream, it can help you recall and remember your dream so much more easily. For those of us, if you have trouble remembering your dreams, it's probably likely because you have a very busy schedule. You've got a lot of stress in your life. You are moving very quickly. So you may, as soon as you wake up, you're like on your phone, you're scrolling through social media, you're responding to text messages, you're checking the weather. Then you get out of bed and you're on to your day, you're in the bathroom doing your morning routine, and you're like, well, I can't remember my dreams. But you're not trying because you're focused on your external life and you're not taking the time to like tune into your dreams. I personally, if I want to remember my dreams, I have to take some time before I get out of bed to write them down. As soon as I get out of bed, it's likely that they're going to be gone. And sometimes I'll get snippets of them throughout the course of my day, or if I get back in bed or lie down in a position, again, similar to one that I was sleeping in, that muscle memory helps my brain remember what the dreams were. But if you continuously do not remember your dreams, it's very likely that you just need to take a little bit of time to yourself in the bed when you first wake up in the morning to remember them. Before anybody else gets up, before your kids jump on you, maybe that means setting your alarm a little bit earlier in the morning to give yourself some time to reflect and to do this and to write them down. Now, if that's still not working for you, it's very likely, again, we're going to talk about entities again. It's very likely that entities are blocking your third eye and your intuition, and therefore you're not having or remembering your dreams because of these entities desperately and deeply do not want you to remember your soul experiences that you're having while you are traveling in the astral realm. So that's probably what's going on there. So again, that's something that I would take a look at if that is you. And of course, some of the things that we consume in our body, different medications, all of those can also have an impact on whether or not we are remembering our dreams. I know that weed, marijuana tends to suppress dreams in a lot of people, and because it really puts you so deeply to sleep, which is interesting to me because weed is a third eye crown chakra opener and really it thins the veil between us and the spirit world and it makes it easier for us to be able to, for people who have a blocked third eye or blocked crown chakra, to be able to connect with the spirit world. Now, that's you. It's also very likely, if you're not using your intuitive gifts in a way with discernment or working with psychic protection, and you're trying to connect with the spirit world while working with weed, marijuana, etc., that you are also attracting in negative entities. If you're not doing your due diligence with psychic protection and discernment. Now, that's a conversation for another day. However, it can really open us up to the astral realm and to other dimensions and frequencies and planes. And again, we can really become a magnet for entities and low-level energies if we haven't done our deep healing work. So that's a side note. Anyway, marijuana can tend to suppress the dream state. So that also may be something that you want to take a look at if you feel like you are having trouble remembering and recalling your dreams the next day. Now, for those of us who are having more normal dreams, what do we do with that? Like, how can we analyze the symbolism? What can we focus on? So I would pay attention to where you are in the dream. The location is going to be important. If you can remember, that can be symbolic of something. Like a house often symbolizes the landscape of your consciousness and your safety and security. If you're traveling to a specific location in the dream, that can be representative of being in transition, or a specific location in of itself, like maybe your childhood, school, or maybe your office. That can be representative of your career or your education and different areas of your life. So the location really is representative of different life areas. And then the people, it's kind of like the stage. The location of where you're in a dream is going to be kind of like the stage of what's going on, what your subconscious is trying to heal. And then the specific people are going to be the characters in the play that are standing on that stage. So they can represent different things. Now, a lot of the time people have questions about, well, if I'm dreaming about this specific person from my past, such as an ex-partner, an old friend, an acquaintance you haven't talked to or about in years, what does that mean? What does that represent? It is very unlikely that very low percentage that they are meant to come back into your life, okay? So if that is you and you're wanting that person to come back into your life, it's very likely that there's some healing there that you need to do around that and why you want that person back in your life and whether or not they deserve to be back in your life. But if you don't want that person in your life, I also wouldn't worry about, well, oh my gosh, is this person supposed to be back in my life? Am I missing something? No. Generally, people represent energy frequencies and qualities and attributes. So if you are in relationship in the dream state with somebody from your past, it's very likely that that person represents a quality or an attribute that you would like to embody within yourself, or that needs some level of healing in your life. So an example of that could be, let's say you're having a dream, you're in a relationship with somebody from your past, and that person to you, if you really distill it down, represents safety and security, then the dream is about you wanting to be in deeper relationship with safety and security, likely within yourself, right? So people represent qualities and attributes within the dream state very, very commonly. So I would tune into, if you're having dreams about specific people, what do they represent in your life? Do they represent safety and security? Do they represent creativity? Do they represent unconditional love? Or do they represent things that trigger you, such as anger or fear or shame? And really tuning into, okay, what does this person represent to me? What kind of energy do they embody? And is that something that I need to embody in my own life? Is that something I need more of? Or is that something that I actually need to work on healing? Now, the other thing with dreams is that if we wake up and we feel very triggered by what happened in the dream state, it's likely there's some deeper healing work for us to do there, and that the dream was just kind of waking us up and nudging us to see something that we need to work on healing. And we're going to talk about how to use your dreams for healing in just a few minutes. But before we get there, a couple of other things to note. You definitely want to pay attention to the animals that are in your dreams. Animals can be very symbolic. They can also be visitations from spirit animal guides. You also want to pay attention to the actions and things that are happening in the dream, such as the actions that you're taking or not taking, what other people around you are doing, what they're doing to you or for you, and just paying attention to the overall storyline of the dream and seeing how that could match up to what's going on in your waking life. Often our soul will use the dream world for solving a problem. And so you may go through a series of events in the dream that help you think of the problem that you may be facing in your waking life in a totally new and different way. So that can also be going on in the dream. Some other things to pay attention to: what's going on with your body in the dream state? Is there a physical illness that you have? What are the emotions that you're feeling? Do you remember feeling something or feeling emotions in the dream state? And how does it make you feel tapping back into that again? Is there grief that's coming up? Is there fear that's coming up? Is there shame that's coming up? Because there is definitely something there for you to take a look at that could be a deeper perspective, different thing that's going on. We can also be shown past life things that we need to heal in the dream world. Sometimes you may even have a dream of a past life. You may be dropped into a past life in the dream state, especially if you're actively doing past life work in this lifetime. But if you are not, that may be a little bit less uncommon, although it's absolutely possible for that to happen for you. Some other things that we can uncover in the dream state: you may also receive visitations from loved ones in the dream state as well. So if you are having dreams of a past loved one on the other side, that is literally them coming to visit you, to share a message with you. So definitely pay attention to those dreams as well. And don't gaslight yourself or pretend like it didn't happen or tell yourself that it wasn't real, because it absolutely was real, and it absolutely was your loved one coming to visit you during the dream state. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to work with your dreams. So first of all, before you're going to bed at night, like I was sharing earlier, you can set an intention for yourself of what you want to do or uncover in the dream state. That could be a problem you want to solve. That could be guidance you want to get from your spirit guides. That could be a place you want to travel to in the dream state. That could be something that you want to know or understand better. And that could be something that you want help healing. So be very clear with your intention before you go to bed. An example could be, I want to heal a block around money in my dream state. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write that intention down on a piece of paper or in a journal before you go to bed, and say it out loud to be really clear about your intention, and then go to sleep and see what happens. So make sure you pick out a very clear intention of what you would like to uncover. Maybe that is just solving a problem for your current job. Maybe there is an issue you have at your job and you have no idea how to fix it. So your intention could be solving that problem in the dream state. So write down that intention, go to sleep, and see what happens. Now, when you wake up in the morning, that's when you're going to want to take a deeper look at your dream. So I would highly recommend, again, that you write things down as soon as you wake up, and then tune into how that dream made you feel. So dreams where there is an indication that there is deeper healing needed are going to make you feel triggered. They're going to make you feel agitated in some way. So if that is the case, I want you to really tune into, what is that bringing up for you? How is it making you feel? And what is it reminding you of? So you may tune into, let's say you had a triggering dream about a family member. Well, it's reminding you of how you didn't receive love from that family member as a kid. And so there's going to be some deeper healing work there for you to do. So pay attention to that. If you are feeling just kind of neutral about the dream, it's unlikely that there's deeper healing there for you that's needed. You may just want to take some time to really feel into the symbolism of what came up in the dream and jot down, okay, I feel like this is showing me a way that I can solve this problem in my waking life, or something that I can navigate, or wow, that was a really profound message. That's something that I needed to hear, that's reflective of what's going on in my waking life. So just kind of tuning into the why behind why that dream is showing up. Is it helping you heal something? Is it helping you solve a problem? Is it a message from a guide or your higher self? Is it a reflection of what's going on in your daily life, shown to you in a different way to give you a different perspective? Just kind of tuning into the why behind why you were shown that dream can help you to come to deeper clarity around the purpose of why that's coming up. Now, we can also be influenced by the planetary alignments and our dream state. So depending on astrologically what's going on in the cosmos, that can also influence our dream state as well. We can have more active dreams during times of the year when the veil between us and the spirit world is thin, such as around Halloween, around the Lionsgate portal, around 11/11, around the beginning of the year and the winter solstice. Those times of the year can also make it easier for us to be able to connect with the spirit world, and therefore we may have even stronger dreams. So that collective energy can influence our dream state as well. And depending on what the planetary alignments are, I am not an astrologer, but I love working with astrology and learning about it because it really can influence the dream state. During full moons, we may have more active dreams than normal. We may have more intense dreams than normal. And during the new moon, we may experience dreams in a totally different way. We may feel like, let's say the full moon is more focused for us on healing and letting go of something, and the new moon is more focused on setting intentions for our new way of being, our new way of life. Now, you're not going to know what those specifics are for you unless you keep track of your dreams and you begin to notice the themes of what's coming up for you. So in your dream journal, you may even want to jot down what's going on astrologically. Is it a full moon? Is it a new moon? Are any planets in retrograde? All of that can have an impact on your dreams and what's coming through in your dream state. So finally, when it comes to working with our dreams in an even deeper way, it helps to have a really strong connection with our spirit guide team, so that before we go to bed, we can have a conversation with our spirit guides and ask them for help with setting an intention for the dream, uncovering something, doing something, healing something in the dream, and then for help from our guides with interpreting the dream when we wake up. So one thing that kind of irritates some of my one-on-one clients is that they will sometimes message me and say, Emily, like, I need help interpreting this dream. And I'm more than happy to help them. But if my one-on-one client is at a more advanced place in terms of their intuition and psychic development, their guides are going to tell me they need to figure it out for themselves. The client needs to figure it out for themselves. So I will give my client some prompts to ask their spirit guide team for help and assistance with decoding the dream. So if you have a good relationship with your spirit guides, they can absolutely help you decode the symbolism in your dream and help you understand from a greater perspective what the dream means so that you can move forward with your life, you can let the dream go, and yeah, things may change and shift for you. And also sometimes we may have crazy dreams and we may just not need to do anything with them. So if that's the case for you, like, I don't want this to stress you out as like a new intense practice that you have to do or something that you have to keep up with. But if this does really intrigue you, you may have a gift around dreaming. And perhaps you may even be able to set the intention before you go to sleep at night to solve a problem or receive a message for somebody in your life. Maybe you have an intuitive practice yourself and you want to use your gift of dreaming to help other people. Be a dream oracle of sorts. you can absolutely do that as well. And you can practice that and give that a try and see what happens. And finally, the last thing I'll say is we always want to be looking for patterns, right? So if you are having, again, those reoccurring nightmares, or there's a pattern to your dreams, a theme that keeps coming up over and over and over again, or the same person over and over and over again, then there is something there that we need to take a deeper look at. So taking some time, sitting with yourself and your guides, if you work with your spirit guides, and asking yourself, what is the overall message here? What guidance do I need to hear? What problem am I trying to solve? What do I need to heal? Will help you come to a greater clarity and perspective on your dreams. So I hope that this video was intriguing to you. I hope it taught you something new about the dream state and my spiritual perspective on dreams. Please drop any helpful comments below. What resonated with you? What did you learn from this? What else do you need to know about dreams? I would love to make another video about the dream state, because this is just a tiny little window into the dream state. There's so much more that I could talk about. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye for now.